Hey everybody, it is late on Tuesday night, but by the time you see this, it'll probably be Wednesday. And this week that's not going to be a bad thing because I'm actually changing the day I post videos to Wednesday in the hopes that I can get them done on time instead of at weird, late, and just strange times. So I also want to apologize for the bad video quality, or at least I assume it's going to be bad because I'm using my webcam instead of my camera because for some reason my parents refuse to use anything besides used batteries. So that's exciting and useless. Um, so, um, Also, I'm going to be doing two videos this week. Just kind of to make up for some things that I wanted to talk about last week, but I didn't have the time to make a video. So in my next video for this week, I'm going to be talking about some channel issues, what's going on with the channel, some future plans for it. There's kind of some stuff going on, and I think that we need to start talking to you guys about it. So this week, we're talking about our favorite things about being gender fluid. So we finally got some positivity going on, which is awesome after the kind of unintentionally depressing topics that we were talking about in the past couple weeks. So one of my biggest favorite things about being gender fluid is just the changeability of it. Even though it's really hard for me to deal with change in my environment, um, I love change with myself. That's why I change my hair so much, or at least I like to change it so much. It's just something new and interesting every day instead of the same old, same old. I can't. I I mean, I do stay a particular gender sometimes for like an entire week, but I prefer it when I'm changing radically almost every day. It's just kind of like having a surprise when you wake up. So that's like the other thing that I like about being gender fluid is constantly having something new and exciting and surprising. It just kind of makes life more interesting. I don't want to sound rude, but sometimes I think it'd be kind of boring to be something other than gender fluid. Um, I also, of course, like having an excuse to wear a wide range of fashions. Not to say that people whose genders don't change don't get to change up their clothing, and not to say that gender fluidity is about wearing different styles of clothing. It's just kind of an excuse for me to indulge in one of my guilty pleasures of having more clothes than anyone should ever need, or at least that's the goal. Is a full wardrobe for every gender I experience, and maybe a little more, just a little bit. And finally, what I find with being gender fluid is that since I experience many of the genders that other people um, experience, I have the ability to see from other people's perspectives. So even though I can't necessarily see from the perspective of, say, a trans woman or a cis man, um, I still get the perspective of what it's like to be a man, or what it's like to be a woman, or what it's like to be agender, or bigender, or non-binary, really almost anything. And even though I'm not particularly good at empathy, I find that this helps me relate to other people's experiences and understand them. And sometimes explain someone else's experiences to another person who's having a difficult time understanding what's going on. Um, so ultimately, I guess I also really enjoy the freedom it gives me. There's no restriction on my gender. It's not like I'm a cis girl and one day I feel kind of like a guy and I'm suddenly confused and questioning my identity and what does this mean? Instead, that's normal for me to constantly be changing and never having to worry about my identity being invalid because that's what it does. It changes and it gives me freedom and an exciting life and so many perspectives on what other people's lives are like. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this spot of happiness and things that are good about being gender fluid. Um, but next week, we're actually going to talk about least favorite things about being gender fluid. So it's back to the negativity. Not really, but kind of. Bye bye. I'll see you next week.